Well, a lot of this conference has been focused on national and international policies, but Trump came out last night and endorsed Congressman Byron Donalds for Florida governor if he decides to run. Trump saying, quote, as governor, Byron Donalds would have a big voice and would work closely with me to advance our America First agenda. Byron Donalds would be a truly great and powerful governor for Florida, and should he decide to run, he will have my complete and total endorsement. Run, Byron, run. The election would be next year because Ron DeSantis is term limited. Well, that man, Congressman Byron Donalds, joins me now. All right, sir, we gonna do it or what? Definitely maybe?
Definitely maybe. That's a good answer. I mean, look, first of all, the president's tweet and endorsement, phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's something that, is really just a blessing. It's still surreal to me. Like, it happened yesterday, and I'm still pulling it all together and what it all means and entails. Look, I'm really excited about what the future holds. Yeah. So I just tell everybody, stay tuned. Yeah. We're going to figure out an announcement and then go from there.
I say that athletes make the best politicians because there's no BS, they don't mince words, and they just get it done.
Why play around? At this point, people are sick and tired of that. I was sick and tired of it when I was just a guy in finance watching politics and trying to figure out politics. And I was really frustrated with why is everybody meandering? Just get to the point. Just do the thing. Right. And I think, you have leaders in our country, obviously President Trump, our current governor, Ron DeSantis, so many others who just get to the point. And that's really the leadership that I think people are looking for. And so, our state's going to need another governor in a short amount of time, and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, well, we're certainly holding our breath for you. All right, so Kash Patel sworn in as FBI director. This was huge. I was like him and RFK were one of the people I was very nervous about, but most pumped about.
For Kash, he's exactly what we need right now. Yeah. The biggest issues at FBI weren't with the rank and file agents, the guys that work hard every day, that actually do the job with honor and dignity, with respect to not just their fellow coworkers, but to the American people. Mm-hmm. It was the political brass. It was the intelligence side of the FBI. That's what was causing the problems. Kash, because of his background in the intelligence community, he's really tailor-made to go in there and bring all the reforms necessary to restore the honor and the dignity that the FBI actually deserves. Proud of him, happy that he got confirmed. Those silly Democrat senators who wanted to protest Kash Patel, the only reason why they're upset is because they don't have their plaything, meaning the intelligence aspects of FBI doing their bidding in the shadows.
Well, also, he's the guy who exposed the Russian collusion.
Sure did.
Pam Bondi says today, the Jeffrey Epstein list is sitting on my desk. Let's go.
Woo. Listen, here's one thing I know. Yeah. I'm not on it.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm happy about that.
Make it rain.
Look, we got to be, I think it's time for just transparency in our government. Like, nothing's perfect. People aren't perfect. Everybody's fallen short of the glory of God. We all have. Mm-hmm. Well, people deserve transparency. And I think with transparency comes the accountability that our government has been lacking for a very long time. Donald Trump and his team, they're bringing that.
Yeah. Last thing, big budget bill coming up. All right, look, I've been pretty hard on Mike Johnson, the speaker, but I do want him to succeed.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
However, not a lot of bills coming out. They're coming out with $4.5 trillion. Senate's coming out with $300 and something billion. I mean, it's a huge discrepancy to square away. How are you guys going to meet on that?
Well, look, I think it's important to understand the House leadership, Mike Johnson, and our chairman of Ways and Means, they've been trying to move everything in one package. What the Senate is doing is they're trying to do a two-step process. So that's why the numbers look different. I wouldn't worry about that. The key thing is, in the House, we're going to, I think this week or next week, we're going to try to get our resolution off the House floor. When that happens, then it begins the process of putting all of the agenda items into a bill and all of the spending cuts. And the thing I've been stressing to everybody, the mandatory spending cuts and reform are going to be the linchpin of getting this deal done. And I think there's concerns about that, which is why I think the Senate's going to two bills, the House is on one. But don't worry about that piece. Those are all process arguments. We're going to get this job done. I anticipate at least by June, July, we're going to have it all done and settled.
Okay, so also lastly, Trump's saying he wants a balanced budget. Is that feasible this round or is that next year?
It's feasible this round if you get to the nub of the matter, you really start going into the discretionary side of the budget. And one thing the Democrats are all upset about USAID and all these departments and agencies, I want to hear what they say when Elon and the crew get over to DOD. Because we do know that there's a lot of waste and inefficiencies in DOD. We know this. So let's see what the Democrats say when they get over there. I think if you get a lot of this waste out of our government, coupled with some of the stuff the president talks about with tariff policy, regulatory reform, the stuff we do in mandatory, we could be well on our way to get there. May not balance this year, but can we get it done over the next couple? Yeah, I think we can get there. But we got to be serious.
There's waste.
And they're serious.
For a lot of these congressmen who've been there for 20, 30, 40 years. That's a big zone. All right. Well, Byron Donalds, Congressman, appreciate it very much, sir.
Thank you, man.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.